Howdy folks, my name's Darren from RC Scale Models, and today I'm back with you with another kit. We're going to take a look at Hong Kong's models brand new 148 scale B-25J Mitchell. It's about time that we've had a new 48 scale Mitchell bomber, because back in the day all we had is accurate scale miniatures, which still today holds up as a really good kit, but it's about, as I say, about time we had a new version. So let's take a look at this one. So it's a very large box. It's standard size boxes, same as the B25 and Lancaster, I believe, same size boxing. So on this side we get the CAD images, it's warning symbols and information, and their Facebook page, made in China. If you're looking for the kit item or number, it'd be 01F008, 48 scale. Two schemes on the side is the olive drab version, and not silver, but it's bare metal finish. I do like this because it does have the blue stuff on it, blue propeller tips and whatever. Colour callouts, mainly they're calling out for the AK callouts. Top opening box, sturdy. I do like their boxes because they're rigid. Instructions, there's a very large sheet. Your typical sprues, your clear. In the bottom we do get a poster, as you can see. You get that with all kits from AK. Sorry, not AK, Hong Kong models. So this is the worksheet. It's quite a large page. I can't get it all in camera very well, so I'm going to have to show it in segments. Nice print of what we get is the poster. A little bit of history down the bottom. Your symbols to pay attention to, ×2, not to glue, to remove, make holes, that kind of thing, leave time to dry, etc. AK callouts for colours. So very first step, you can see is working in the cockpit area. Cockpit seats, we do get photo etch seat belts. I'm not sure about if they have shoulder harnesses. I think it's just lap belts. I'm not sure about that. Just check your references. They do have these triangles with the letters in them are to correspond for your colours. The colours are called out at the back of the instructions, so just work your way along. I'm pretty sure inside the aircraft is the chrome, zinc mate, green colour and silver, like metal finish. That's basic colours for the interior. So we have the instrument panel, the flight yokes, the cockpit floor, bulkheads, pretty standard for a bomber. Then working on the bomb bay area, two side walls, your bombs. We do have a little bit of photo etch detail here. Which is this part here. The typical bombs are the olive drab colour. This is the bomb bay assembly being built up. I think it calls out for natural metal finish in the bomb bay. Again, just check your references based on the aircraft you may be doing and for markings. This is the walkway, and inside the aircraft, nice rib detail by looks of things. We will check that out when we get to the kit. A couple of holes you've got to pay attention to. This is for the A variant, maybe not for the B. Couple of details. I have noticed there's one not mistake, but I have missed out the actual floor that goes here between these two windows. This is where two operators would be for the gunners. They've missed out the floor, so you might have to scratch build that if you want to. In goes the compartments. This piece here is actually a cast metal piece as a counterweight, which you would need for the B-17, stop it from being a tail sitter, which is a nice touch. Copy goes in. This is for the upper gunner turret. Again, another slight mistake I've noticed they've missed out is either side of this should be some giant bags which catches all the shells. Again, it hasn't been made, but you're going to have to scratch build those. There's only a couple of minor things that they've missed out. This is the bomb bay area, the tail gunner, which is here made up. The landing gear has to go in quite early. Sadly, it's the way it's done. So you got to be careful not to break that off. Two halves going together. The windows can go in later on. They do go from the outside, which is a nice touch. And then there's your rear tail planes and upper stabilizers and rudders and stuff, which is pretty basic and pretty standard. And then that can be attached to the back of the aircraft. Your tail going in, which is the cover for the guns. Two types of canopy. Your turret going in, lumps and bumps all over. The guns on the side are optional. It's for the A variant, but the B variant doesn't have the side guns. Bombay open. Armour plating, plastic or photo etch is your choice. I think putting the photo etch on is okay. It's going to look a little bit more into scale, but the plastic part is already moulded into shape. The photo etch is flat, so you have to bend it slightly. But again, once it's all painted and weathered, I don't think you're going to know the difference. I'm not going to fuss about by putting a photo etch on. I'm just going to whack the plastic piece on. Again, guns are optional. Pitot tubes and lumps and bumps. Your front bulkhead going in. This section here is for Bombay doors to be closed, and other hatches you can have open or closed. These are inside the for the crew to get in and out of, and probably escape hatches as well if the aircraft is ever to go down. Basic engines, two halves, centerpiece, and the center part of the engine your propeller will sit onto, and prop. So a little bit of wiring, dry brushing, weathering should come out nicely. I imagine there'd be upgrades in the future for Medard, like resin stuff for this, but that doesn't look too bad. Engine cowlings, sadly the louvers for the engine cowling are in the open position all times, which is a bit of a shame. It's only open. The props going on, basic colour call-outs again, they'd be either dark grey or black, I think, with the yellow tips. Two halves of your wings, you get all these locking tabs. Once you've got your wings sandwiched together pretty well, the locking mechanism, which you see here for the wings, is really good fit. It does work. I have seen it work. Your lights and stuff like that going in. Flaps and ailerons. Engine nacelles, which is here, being built up, being attached. Slots over the main landing gear, again has to go in quite early. There isn't much of a landing gear, it's just a little square hole. Obviously you need to paint a little bit, but you're not going to see an awful lot inside. They're just calling out for to make sure you've got everything level. The landing gear doors are on the open. Don't know if you can have it all closed up though. More flaps. The other side of the wing and attaching the other side of the engine nacelle is going to be the same. And now here is the front nose. There's two types layout. So we have the machine guns. This one here has two machine guns in the front. This one down the bottom has three. I'm sorry, tell a lie, has five. So your choice is for A and B variant. Just be aware which one you're doing. And I have noticed there are missing the magazine feed in the front. So again, that's going to have to be added yourself. Once that's done, this is the breakdown of all the small sub-assemblies. So you like your nose, your engine nacelles, the wings, the body. This is basically just a breakdown of where everything goes into place. Two halves for your wheels. You get wheel covers or non-wheel covers. Again, I'll probably upgrade these wheels to resin because I do like resin wheels. I'm not a fan of two-piece wheels when it has nice detailed tread, because when it comes to try and sand out the seam, you end up losing a large chunk of your tread pattern. So I'll probably end up swapping them out anyway. There is a couple of detailed upgrades I want to do to this. I want to upgrade the barrels to metal. Obviously the metal feed I want to upgrade to. I won't go too much on inside the detail inside because you probably won't see it. Maybe upgrade the instrument panel, maybe, but we shall see. Then it's the breakdown of all the kit parts. So two halves, your wings, your bombs. This part here, part P, is in the kit. I have seen someone mention about this, that they can't work out what it's for, so I don't know. More breakdown for your kit parts, your photo etch, counterweight. This is for your markings. They are into scale, so you can use this as a template if you wish to make your own, or masks. So these are 1:1 scale, which is a nice touch. They do it like that. Paint callouts is your olive drab version, which is standard. Olive drab, ready orange engine covers or ends. We do have the nice engine chief on the tail. I do recognise this aircraft though. I think I've seen this before. Not sure. Stripes on the wings. Standard neutral grey on the bottom. Here are your colour callouts. Actually, they're called out for AK, Tamir, and guns. And funny enough, all three manufacturers of those is what I use. So I can pick or choose what I want to fancy. So that's handy. Propeller callouts. Now this is the silver version. They are calling out for it to be aluminum colour, so it is like natural metal colour. It is nice, but I'm not a fan of metal aircraft. I think they're tricky to do, and I haven't done too many. I will do them, but I'm not a massive fan. I do like camouflage and stuff like that, but this is a nice one. They are both 1945 aircraft. This one's Italy, and this one was based in I can't pronounce that. But yeah, nice markings. And then obviously all your main colour callouts again, it's AK, Tamir, and guns. And then you've got your basic colours down the side in normal form: aluminum, black, yellows, blues, dull green, light green, red, white, and etc. So you just have to check what paint you use. As for the kit, there isn't a ton of parts in this bag on the side. Here's your counterweight. Here's a hefty piece of lead. I must imagine this is moulded. Nicely done. Now kit parts. So these two sprues are going to be exactly the same. So this is the inner side, and you can see it's got nice rib detail to keep the wing rigid and stop it from folding or bending in the future. Same as the engine nacelles, is all nicely done inside. Large amount of tabs. Hopefully they all line up and lock in nicely. This is the upper and lower wing section and engine nacelle. So I imagine this fits to left and this one will fit the right side. It does have the typical fine engraved panel lines and rivet detail all over the aircraft, as what you expect from Hong Kong models. That looks a bit weird to me though. Right there, you see the panel line doesn't seem to match up. I don't know if that's a mistake or it's meant to be like that. And then down the bottom there you've got double rivets and some are not. And engine nacelles. Do the rivets go all the way round? I can't really tell. This is the lower wing section. Again, it has that nice detail. These look a little bit overdone to me, but I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on the aircraft, so I couldn't tell you. But that's the two wing sections. Also this section here, I don't know if you've noticed, you noticed the parts that are required for that section is generally all on one sprue, We previously looked at the tank from the Border model Stug. Their sprues were generally, everything on that sprue was for that area, and I've noticed HK have done the same. So you've got the sprue with the wings. This is all to do with the engine, nacelles and engines, is all in one sprue. The other one is to do with the tail planes, and then you've got your main fuselage. So I do like when the manufacturers try and keep everything together, saves having to hunt and search it for your parts. I do like that. So here's your engine nacelles. They would have been slide molded. These are your nice wheel detail. Again, I mentioned in the past, it has that nice texture on the tread pattern, but when it comes to sand that seam out, you're going to lose a lot of it, which I hate. As for the engine detail, as a little bit of wiring and dry brushing and weathering, they should come out nicely. I think these are the back halves. These are the front halves. There is part of the centre. Landing gear, props are nicely done. I don't see no flash, no burring. It's nice and crisp and clean. These are the back of the engines. So yeah, overall I think that's a pretty good detail. So here are your two bodies. Left and right is going to be pretty much the same. So here's one half the fuselage. The other side, as I say, is going to be exactly the same. The details going to be the same. Internals are pretty much the same, apart from a couple of differences at the front here, but the rest of it is pretty much the same. Nice rib detail all the way through, and the only ejector pin I can see is here and small one here. But again, what I think they've done is might have made ejector pins square or whatever as part of the fuselage, so it blends in. I'm not sure, but how they managed to pull it out, I'm not sure. This is where the counterweight will sit here, and there's that lock-in mechanism for the wings. It does work. That's for the windows. You've got to cut that part out, but then we have nice rib detail and panel lines and rivets as before. Obviously we've got other variants possibly due to come out as well, like let's say the Strafer version, which has all guns in the front, doesn't have the glass nose or anything. It's just a normal section, but tons of guns. In this bag we have two sprues, but they're not the same, so we look at this one. This contains flaps, tail planes, rudders, upper tail planes I think they call them, or rudders, Bombay doors. Again, it's nice support on the inside for strength. Bombay doors on this one. On the B-17 they had a slight mistake where they put large ejector pins, but I can't see any on these ones. These ones look nice and clean. Ejector pin free. The outer has some panel line and detail. Your tails nicely detailed. Flaps has that nice detail. The main tails nicely done. It's not overly riveted and it's not chunky. I think it's pretty good. Plastic is nice and smooth. And the last sprue, and then the clear parts. So this is some of the parts that I say I'll probably upgrade. These are your guns. They are slide molded, which is nice, but they're just lacking in detail. The actual 50 cals are not too bad, but I'm definitely going to upgrade the barrels. Is one worthy upgrade. That's what you get for an instrument panel. You do get a decal to go over it. It's okay, not perfect, but again, how much you're going to see inside the cockpit is probably not a lot. Cockpit floor looks really good though. This is a mixture of silver, natural metal I believe, and chromate green. This is one of the bulkheads. This is your Bombay detail, pretty damn good. I believe this is natural metal on the aircraft. These are those guns on some variants don't. Again, it's optional. We have another bulkhead, more bulkheads, a couple of detail parts, ammo box, aerials, your flight yokes or sticks, whatever you want to call them. The main wheel at the front. Here's the canvas part for the tail, for your two cannons, 50 cals to go through. The main landing gear for the tail. I believe these are more boxes. This is what you get for guns. Try and get them to focus. And the actual 50 cal itself. Here's the main arm for the turret. Again, it's missing the bags for the ammunition catching bags, ammunition chute bags. So you have to make them yourself. More floor and like actuators and stuff, but again, it is nicely detailed. All the basics are there. Here, actually, even the pilot seats. Some have cushions and some don't. It's all down to personal reference how you're going to do this. Again, if you want cushions, you're going to have to make them or buy aftermarket. But I think the kit looks pretty good. Is it as good as the accurate scale miniatures? It's give or take. They both got their goods and both got their quirks and both got their bad. Two more sprues I've just noticed in the bag. We have a bag of bombs, which is pretty standard, and a couple of more 50 cals. And another machine gun. This is the bottom of the nose and the internal nose. So again, I won't get these out of the bag, they're just small parts. Clear parts. Shouldn't be too bad. Let's take a quick look. These look pretty damn good. The framing is a little bit raised, so you could probably make your own mask, but I always going to buy a mask for aircraft because I find it easier, quicker and less hassle. Two main canopies, there is some slight differences. The foggy areas is part of your framing, so that will be painted, and obviously clear parts are windows. As for the differences, I'm not quite sure. You've got this funny looking piece at the back. People mentioned they're not sure what it's for, neither do I. It could be to hold the aeroplane up at the back, which I thought at first, but then again you've got the counterweight, so I don't know. Unless that's for some weird variant due to come out in the future. I'm not sure. Here is the tail glass, your turret, your side windows for your landing lights, and then obviously your two nose options, one with 3 machine guns or cannons or 50 cals, whatever they are, and the other one's got 5, and then your nose glass. That's pretty good. So here are the decals and the photo etch parts. So I can get into this bag quickly. I do like to give you resealable bags. So you've got your photo etch parts, they are got plastic film over them. So here are your harnesses for your lap belts and shoulder belts. Again, I'm not sure if they would have shoulder belts. Just check your references. Then these funny C shapes are covers to go over the wing to stop the glare from the landing lights. And obviously that piece in the middle is part of the walkway. These are your photo etch armour plates. Again, you can get them in plastic or photo etch, is your choice. Markings, printed in by Cartograf. So yeah, best manufacturer I believe for markings. I do like their markings, they go down really well. They do several different variants, shiny ones like this, they do matte ones, they do in between. These are a little bit on the shiny side. Carrier film is pretty damn close. So we have the normal insignias as standard. They are a little bit on the faded look as well. My markers seem to have this weird dust over them. No idea what that is. But nicely printed, they're in sharp, they're in colour, they're in register. So yeah, nicely done. There's what you get for an inch from a panel. Is it going to cut it? Possibly, not sure. But all your basics are there. Oh, and one last thing before I forget, I did mention it, is your giant poster you get free with your kit, which is done of the nice box art. So you can always frame this and stick up on your wall. So yeah, nice. So there you are, my friends, another kit from Hong Kong Models, 1/48 scale B-25J Mitchell. Beautiful kit, nice vivid detail. It's pretty basic. It shouldn't be too difficult to go together. I do like the locking mechanism for the wings. It does work, and I'm a fan of Hong Kong Models. I think they're pretty good kits. So it's nice that they've started to do the B-25 Mitchell in 48. Obviously there's others to come out in the future, like the Strafer version and stuff. So now we've got the B-25, we've got the Lancaster, we've got the B-17. Hopefully they'll bring out the other bombers in the future. It'll be nice. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.